What's up, guys? Welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. Today's episode is going to be all about Snapseed and landscapes. I'm going to use the drift method. Freaking incredible. Round F16 for that to get that sunburst. So it's another beautifully crappy day here in New Mexico with stupidly sunny skies, not a cloud in sight, and a balmy 85 degrees. And I've got to come out here to do some location scouting for an unrelated project. So while I'm out here, I got a little ways to hike. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to go over the landscape stuff that I said I was gonna do in Snapseed. And I was gonna find a new image, but I'm not really feeling inspired with all of this blueness right now. So I'm actually gonna use the same image that I used for my Lightroom mobile edit video. So if you haven't checked that out and you want to see the differences in another app, you can check somewhere up there. So why don't we just pull it over here in the shade somewhere, or I can take a break and relax for a few minutes and get into the edit. Alright, so let's jump into Snapseed here. Alright, so I've opened up this image. Like I said, this is an image I shot on my Galaxy Note 8 in RAW at Death Valley. I'm editing it now on my S9 Plus, which doesn't really matter. Anyways, let's get into it. So I don't want to use any of these looks right now. I'm just going to do everything myself. So I'm going to go into Tools, and I'm going to start with Tune Image. And I'm going to start with the highlights by dropping those because they're a little overexposed. And then I'm going to probably boost my shadows just a little bit. I'm going to do some more selective edits in a minute, so I don't want to go too crazy on that. Then I'm going to do a little bit of global saturation, just bring out some color. And I definitely do want a little bit more contrast to start off with for global. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit OK. Now is where I'm going to start getting into the selective stuff. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make the selective thingy here. I'm going to hit the plus icon for a new selective. And then I'm going to select where I want to start. So when you double pinch like this, the red area that it's highlighting is the area that's going to be affected. Okay, so that's good. So what I want to do now is I want to slide up to brightness. And I want to increase the brightness right there. And then I want to slide up to the structure, and I want to increase the structure of that a lot, because that's my foreground element and I really want to make that pop. So increasing the structure, which is the same thing as clarity if you were using Lightroom or Adobe or something. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna hit OK. Let's see how it's looking so far. I'm just gonna press and hold on the screen, and you can see the before and the after. So we're making a little bit of progress, but it still needs a lot of work. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is go into Tools, and I'm going to go into Brush, and I want to further accentuate the foreground and the leading lines. So what I'm going to do is select the Dodge and Burn, and the little arrows here are the power of the Dodge and Burn. So I want it to be up by 10, and then you can just take your finger and start painting in the areas, and see that's too bright. So what I want to do is erase that, and I'm going to come in here. So I'm going to hit the eraser, and I'm just going to erase what I just did there. So now I'm just going to go to 5. Apparently it only lets you do it in increments of 5, which I think is a little silly, but whatever. So there, that's subtle. So what I've done is I've just lightened up that middle area by doing the dodge to help your eye go from the rock to the mountains and the sunset, and that's what's called a leading line. So now I'm gonna just drop it and do by -5, and I'm gonna do on the outsides here to help with a more of a natural vignette. That was a little harsh. I'm gonna erase that. Alright, so I'll add the vignette separately. So that's good for my Dodge and Burn. So, and you can see you can do within the dodge and burn, you can do exposure, temperature, and saturation also. So what I might do is I'm going to do the saturation, and I'm going to do it by 5, and I'll just paint it in up there in the sky just to help that pop just a little bit more. And then I'll hit OK. So the next thing I want to do is I maybe want to check out this drama thing here, and there's a ton of presets in here, and I kind of want to just see. They all look pretty hideous, but that's because they're also at filter strength 90 as its preset. So if I just drop this way back down and just do it somewhere like 15, I think that looks alright. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of tonal contrasting. So I'm going to swipe up, start with the midtones here, and you can just get an idea for what it's doing. When I bring this up, it's just creating a little more contrast in those midtones, which is really nice for bringing the contrast out in this foreground. And I'm going to slide up to the low tones, which is the darks, and I'm going to drag that up a little bit because that's making a nice contrast there. And I'm going to go to the high tones, and I'm actually going to drop those down because I'm not interested in that. Alright, so that's a good step there. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is add a little color and do a little tinting. So I'm going to go into Tools, I'm going to go to Curves, and I'm going to come down here to this little button to the left of the eye, and I'm going to select Blues. And I want to bring up the blues in the shadows, because I want that to be a little cooler color. And then I'm going to drop it up here to the highlights to make sure it's not hitting those highlights. Okay. And I'm going to go up to the reds, and I'm going to increase the reds in the highlights, but not in the shadows. And then I'm going to go into the greens and just pull the greens down overall just a little bit. And then I'm going to adjust the luminance curve just to give it just a little bit more contrast. Alright, so I'm going to go back into Tools, I'm going to go back into Tune Image, and I'm just going to see if I can mess with the saturation a bit more. So I just want those new colors that I've added and all that to just really pop. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is go back into Tools. I'm going to go back to the brush, and I want to control the temperature this time. So what I'm going to do is increase the temperature in the sky to warm it up. And then I'm going to decrease the temperature down here. So I just wanted the sky, so that's why I did the brush there. So now I'm happy with that. Alright, so the next thing, probably the last thing that I want to do is I'm going to go into Tools, and I'm going to go into White Balance, and I just want a little bit more of a magenta tint, so I'm going to slide it up from Temperature and select Tint, and then I'm going to slide the tint over to the right just a little bit. Alright, I'm happy with that. And one last thing, I'm going to go back into Curves, and I'm going to just keep it on the regular RGB, and I'm just going to bring up a little bit more contrast by doing a simple S curve, and there it is. Alright, so I could probably keep piddling with this and keep changing, but that's kind of the downfall of editing, and you can do that. That happens a lot in pretty much any editing program. You just keep going. At some point you got to call it quits. So I think I'm going to call it quits here. Here's a before. So that's the raw. And then that's where we've come to. As you can probably tell from the menus in Snapseed, there's a lot of options that you can do, especially with their looks and their presets and all of that stuff. But that's kind of my basic workflow for editing in Snapseed, for doing my landscapes and stuff like that. So I hope that kind of helps you guys get familiar with Snapseed and kind of figure out the workflow and the layout and all the possibilities. So just remember, I say this a lot, editing is super important, and it should never be forgotten or put on the side burner or whatever, because editing is definitely just as important as knowing the principles of photography and the settings and all of that stuff. It can really make or break your image, and it can definitely help inspire your creativity and turn a good image into a great image. All right guys, I'm gonna call that an episode. I gotta get back to hiking and finish up this location scouting. So if you like that stuff and you want to see more, definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel. I've got new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And if you have any questions about anything that I went over in Snapseed or I didn't go over, make sure you leave those in the comments below and I'll definitely answer them. So hit that like button if this video helped you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.